この番組は23時イエンのなんちゃら提供でお送りしております。
Oh, I loved this project. This was another one that like built up over the 2 weeks since I announced my graduation. So this is by Yumi, who is wonderful, always does like so much support. I was going to say, I thought they were mainly a brisket, but they're definitely like a nocturnal in general. And they support like all of Nijisanji, and they do artwork for all of us at different times. But I mainly see them doing like nocturnal stuff, especially when we have like Noctics like group collabs. But yeah, this is just like, ooh, it's so cute. It's like different memories with like every member of Nijisanjien. Wonder if, oh, you can pause it. Okay. So yeah, the final one's like we read you with the confidant. It starts off, it goes through everybody. It's like me and Alira reacting to like Danmei and BL, our little BL streams. Me and Fish playing Valorant, me with my breach thing, because I never changed character. Me and Rosemi when I hit her with the bus in Goose Goose Duck. This is what I mean. Like, every one of these is such a, like, lovely and beautiful memory. Me and Petra. Me talking about her being a penguin and her talking about me being a robot, and does a robot have a heart, while we were playing Getting Over It. The first, like, big collab that I actually joined. It was so nice. Me and Mumu. Obviously, Epic the Musical. There was no question. It was us freaking out about Epic the Musical for the last 3 months. Oh, God. Me and Enna in one of my... I'll remember that day forever. Because PTSD doesn't leave you so easily. That was when we played Uno with Mika and Albanian. And I remember one of the things that was supposed to be a Batsu game for Enna was when she had to start calling people daddy. And she got really into it, and it was very cursed. Me and Mel Jade playing Final Fantasy XIV, which we did a ton. Always teasing me, and me doing my best to, you know, chill things out. But I loved that. I loved Final Fantasy XIV. It was a very fun time. The Aura character was so beautiful. And I genuinely... Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games that, like, hurts me a little bit because I get too addicted to games like that, and so they kind of scale me away. But I liked playing that game just because I liked hanging out with people. It was nice when the confidants got to join us and, like, explore things and just chat and show off their fashion and everything. And getting to play that with, like, Millie and then Finina and a couple of other people. I never got to play... There were, like, so many new people who joined who were super into FF14 as well. And we just never got back into it because of my whole graphics card explosion thing. Me and Luca in Pico Park, which, yeah, one of the peak memories when it comes to Luca. It was so fucking good. Every time we played a game like that, like, yeah, I try to match people's energy. So sometimes I'm the calming one, and sometimes I am also the troll. Me and Ike doing our creepypasta reaction tier list. Oh, that was so good. Where we just shared, like, our favorite creepypastas and went through some stories. That was a really fun time. I didn't get to do many one-on-ones with Ike, but that one was just, like, so perfect, so relaxing. It felt so chill. It was just, like, a nice conversation. Me and Shuchan in, I assume, Among Us. Yeah, it's Among Us. I was like, is this Among Us or Goose Goose Duck? But it's, yeah. Shuchan crying. I'm pretty sure that was probably a reference to the time I literally watched him kill someone and then dive out of a vent and chase me through an entire ship while I was trying to keep up with Voxy and being like, Voxy, Voxy, I need you, brother, for once in your life. Like... It was so funny. And me and Voxy, obviously, Smash Bros, our main thing, but also me and Voxy have just done so many things together because we've got so many wonderful memories. We've been such good friends since we met each other. Very similar in a lot of ways, but also very different. It's one of those relationships that really defines a lot of things for me. Because with Voxy, we come from, like, such different generations. We have, like, different kinds of brain rot and hyperfixations. And despite that, we're very similar in a lot of other ways of, like, enjoying media, enjoying fiction, enjoying storytelling. And so, yeah, we've always been very close and very similar in certain ways, while almost opposite in other ways. They really chose the Lambros perfectly for, like, the scenario they wanted of, like, similar souls, but one from the future and one from the past, both tortured by their histories and trying to move forward. But yeah, I'm glad I had my Lambro throughout these 3 years. Me and Ren Ren playing Mario Party. I'm not gonna lie, I used Ren as a shield a lot. Everyone was always so angry at Ren for everything. Because it was like, damn it, he's so cheerful even though he's destroying us. He went out of his way to hurt people. And I remember, like, I would constantly convince people, I would gaslight people, like, yeah, Ren's absolutely wiping the floor with us. Ren's gonna win. And like every time we actually played with Ren, I was secretly winning and just managing to convince the other people, like, yeah, isn't he so annoying how he's like gloating? He's so happy about it. Horrible. We like united against the enemy while I secretly pulled ahead, kind of thing. Evil mastermind strikes, yeah. And Ren was just fine with it. He was just chill. It's just who Ren is. He's always just a pure beam light of hyper energy and positivity to the world. Me and Asta. I don't know what this is a reference to, unless it's like one of his outfit reveals, because it looks like he kind of naked. So, me and NIJISANJI. Oh, I remember this one so well. This is me being a fungus and going to visit her cafe. Which was so adorable. I got so into the character. I really put my whole side bussy into being Kimoi Otaku. And I love that street. Like, look at how much they captured that emotion there as well. NIJISANJI smiling, but you can also see the sweat bead. It's like she's doing her best. So I love that one so much. It really, to me, defined what an incredible entertainer NIJISANJI is and how, like, suited she is to be an idol. With the fact that she is just able to keep up conversations, keep her cool, and, you know, not tell somebody to just, oh god, you're freaking me out, calm down, kind of thing. Me and Scaros. Am I in a snow globe? I don't actually know what this one is a reference to. It does look like everything's shining around. But me and Scaros have done a lot of things together. But yeah, Scaros is very important to me. It's a shame we didn't get to do like more streams together, but we're always going to be incredible friends. So I'm glad I got to spend so much time with her these 3 years as well. Until Dawn? Oh, is it Until Dawn? Oh. We didn't... No, it wasn't Until Dawn. It was the other one. But I know what you mean. We played that horror game together. The Quarry. Yeah, The Quarry. Is that what it's a reference to? I'm not gonna lie. Most of what I remember about The Quarry was how silly some of the plot lines were. I mainly just remember, like, thinking, oh, these teenagers need to die throughout, like, the entire thing. With other games like that, you normally, like, start off hating the characters, but then you, like, get to peel behind their layers, and you're like, okay, this is okay. Your model froze, and she said you ran out of battery. Oh, okay. Oh, God. She set up for that final Mildred thing as well. When your model stopped moving. Damn, you guys have better memory than me. Let's go. Thank you, guys. I mainly remembered, like, all the... a lot of, like, cursed innuendo throughout that stream. Me and Ayaya. Oh, that's me during a D&D campaign. I'm pretty sure that's the one where I borrowed one of her original characters. She was just like, Fuchan, did you prepare an image? And I was like, no. So she was like, don't worry, fam, I got you. You wanted to be a pretty elf boy, right? Here you go. Ayaya has always been such an incredible DM. She's such an amazing storyteller. And her being a DM, like, brings you into the world and gives her an opportunity to really share people's talents. Like, the newest one with the BTB boys was so freaking good as well. We got to know so much about them. But it gives people like Pio-chan, like Voxy, so much, like, opportunity to really explore and showcase how talented they are at, like, improv and everything. And Aya as well, obviously. She's always able to keep up with them and keep having fun with it. It's so good. I always love D&D. Yeah, it's amazing. Me and Pio-chan in Bokura, which was amazing. We never did get to do Bokura Part 2, because apparently, like, if you beat that game a second time and a third time, each time it unlocks a new, like, extra thing. We didn't have time. Technically, the anniversary, we could have done it, like, within my graduation time. I just had so much else to go on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Ver and Pio-chan play Bokura 2 in the future, if they choose to do that, and if we get perms. But yeah, no, if we had gotten permission to play Bokura 2 in time, well, we would have done that before we left. It was just unfortunate timing. Instead, we got to play Infinity and dress up our daughters and, like, dance with each other. It was great. Me and Ver in the courtroom place. I'm pretty sure, I think that was when we announced our 3.0s, I think. It was definitely me, Millie, and Ver in a courtroom. Just, yeah, being silly, doing a little role-playing, playing around with like our emotions. Because I think we all like were announcing our 3.0s at the same time, so we were just showing off our different emotions and showcasing that stuff. So that's cute. Me and Kotaka, and yeah, me and Kotaka did not get to collab too much. We were more together in a couple of big collabs and like a couple of like plotsus. But this one, obviously, the birthday karaoke where she absolutely fucking slayed and proved she is secretly Avril Lavigne. I don't know if we're allowed to dox Kotaka's actual identity, but she very clearly is. No, she actually sings better than Avril Lavigne. That's the problem. Her cover was so good. Yeah, no, she came in and fucking destroyed that. It was amazing. Didn't expect anything like on that level. And she was actually the first person to deliver a finished like song as well. So I had like zero expectations. She was like, "Here, Fu-chan, is this good enough? I'm really not confident about singing in English." And I just was like, "Oh, okay, let me check this out." I downloaded it and listened to it, and I just sat there in stunned silence the whole way through, like, you weren't confident in this? Jesus Christ. So yeah, I hope she releases a lot more English covers in the future, but just in general, incredibly talented person and so fucking sweet and supportive behind the scenes. I'm glad that Voxy got a chance to talk about everything that she does, because it's not just for Voxy. There are so many people who go to her and are just like, "Hey, I want to release this thing and I want to be able to share it with the Japanese fans as well. Could you translate this into Japanese?" She always like takes time to do that for other people and to look out for them. So yeah, I'm glad we have her in Nijisanji. Yeah, and of course we have Melokoko. I thought if anything was going to come up with Meloko, it was going to be the BL stream as well, but I guess that was like reserved for a wee. This is very clearly the dress to impress one, where she was the only one who saw my vision. She was the only one who understood the Osumatsu-san reference. She gave me a 6.5 on what was otherwise a pretty basic outfit. But she was like, "Oh, Jishimatsu." She got it. She got me. But yeah, that was a fun stream. I was just being silly and vibing around. Such a cute memory. She took pity on us more than anything. Oh, Wilson. Okay, so this has got to be the Bigfoot collab. I wasn't sure when I first saw it, and I was like, oh, we did play Bigfoot, didn't we? That happened like pretty early after Wilson's debut, which is kind of crazy. I barely remember that other than it feeling like really hard to control and really overpowered. But it was fun. We were just being silly, making so many innuendos, running through the woods, murdering each other. Clips from that collab are crazy. Yeah. You put me and Albanyan together, cursed shit's gonna happen, but yeah, everybody there was having a fun time. Me and Van. Oh, this one's so recent. Straight up had a full boyfriend, which I love that we got a chance to do that. Like, I've said it a couple of times recently, but Van is one of the most supportive and sweet people that I know. He so goes out of his way to showcase everybody else's talents. And he's also like incredibly respectful when he really doesn't have to be. Like, he always like checks in with people and is like, "Oh, I know you've done this thing. Do you think I could do it too?" Like, I remember once in the past when I was doing my Elden Ring Batsu game wheel thing, you know, I was just vibing. That wasn't an original idea. That idea has been done by absolutely everyone in the past. People do Batsu wheels for everything under the sun. And yet Van like straight up was like, "Oh, I really want to do that, but I need to ask Fu-chan." And I happened to be watching the stream while he said that, so I just like immediately DM'd him on Discord like, "Bro, that's not taking an idea from me. That's an idea that's been regurgitated 100 times. You're better at FromSoft games than me. Take that. It's going to be so much more entertaining when you do it." And just like a similar thing with like the Hatterful Boyfriend thing, where he knew that I'd been trying to get perms for Hatterful Boyfriend for like ever, and it just was not happening. And when it finally came through, instead of just immediately diving into it himself and just being like, "Hey, my secret," he was just immediately like messaged me like, "Hey, I want to do this as like a one-on-one thing, but I'm going to do it in the membership. And I'd like to do like a group collab if you want to host it and like do the voice cast and stuff." And it was just like, dude, you're too fucking sweet. Are you kidding me? So it was like, no, do your membership thing, but also you're the one who should host the Hatterful Boyfriend thing. I hadn't been paying attention to what we were getting permissions for anymore. I wouldn't even known until after my graduation that we had perms for Hatterful Boyfriend. So the fact that we got to do that stream at all was thanks to him reaching out to me, and I'm so glad that I got to be a part of it. Even though I was hilariously miscasted. Me having to play like the pretty boy, like womanizer, was like, I don't really have a voice for this, but I guess I'll do my best and just make everyone cringe. And yeah, he gave me like as many voice lines as he possibly could and got like me to be like the main love interest throughout the whole thing, and then set it up so well with like all the cyborg connections and everything else going on. The casting was impeccable. He controlled that thing amazingly. So yeah, I'm glad they got to be a part of that. Vesalius Bandage. Again, amazing entertainer. I've said multiple times from the time that he debuted, his cover of, I think it's A Sickness Called Love. I forget what it was, but his debut cover of that song, the one that goes so fucking beautiful, so powerful. I listened to that, like that became like repeat on the shower for weeks. Oh, The Disease Called Love. Thank you, The Disease Called Love. It's such a good cover. It's so powerful. So I already knew how amazing a singer he was. But again, this was another similar thing to like Kodaka, where like I asked him to sing Careless Whisper and I wasn't expecting anything like too intense. And then I got the recording from him for the birthday karaoke, and he just immediately shows up like, hello, Fusan, happy birthday. Like immediately like seduction and just like, warmth in the ears. The song was absolutely incredible. It was like, yeah, completely melting. Careless Whisper, it was so good. I remember like everybody making the jokes like, oh, Fuchan got empregged. Pretty much. Claude, again, we're back to Valorant, but this time I'm using my shepherd model with the long hair. I'm still Breach. I never got away from Breach. I'm glad that Claude finally admitted how... Claude clearly has like so much frustrations with the way in which I play Valorant, because I know there were so many times where he would get like so quiet while we were playing Valorant on stream, and I was like, oh, he really wants to win this game, and I really do not care either way, and this is mismatching. I'm glad he found the perfect duo for him in the form of like Leo Kuga, who can keep up with him. And obviously so many other really talented Valorant players in Nijisanji that he plays with as well. But yeah, it's just, there were so many times that I was like, yeah, he's getting pissed off. Maybe I'll try to lock in for a little bit. And even like on the yesterday's Totsu stream, it was like, come on, talk about my Valorant shit. And he was like, no, I can't. And then later when it was a bit more relaxed and a lot of other people had roasted me, he was like, I mean, I can't say anything. Like, you do flash us a lot and you always just kind of run in. And it was like, yeah, okay, good. Let those frustrations out. Because that's the thing. Frustrated as you are, like, Claude still went out of his way to like invite me to Valorant all the time. I was always there for HopCon. It was never like, oh, Fuchan's there, I shouldn't be there. He still vibed with me, even though we've got completely different skill levels and playing styles. So it's fucking amazing. Machanga. And this must, oh yeah, I can tell immediately because I'm wearing the women's underwear. So this is Project Zomboid, which was such a fun time. Oh, that little group we got together was so nice. Martin in general, again, another one of the incredibly supportive people in the branch that like looks after everyone else, especially Denorth. Like he goes out of his way to look after the girls as much as he can and spend as much time with them. But he's also just so sweet to everyone inside and outside the branch. He's one of the most mature people I've ever met, who goes out of his way to make people feel comfortable. Both him and Renren, those are people where a lot of people have said similar things about me, and I've always just been like, no, I wish I was as good at that as they are, because they do it so fucking well. But yeah, Project Zomboid was so fun. Like, he was so good at the game, and meanwhile, I was just running around. Like, everybody was like, oh, Fuchan, we got this, like, good body armor. Like, we got these good things. And I'm just like, nah. I want to put on my pretty earrings, my necklace, women's underwear, and nothing else defensive. Run around through the zombie apocalypse, and we'll see when I die. It was so nice. Yeah. And we have the maid. Dada. Us playing Goose Goose Duck, which was always a fun time as well. Goose Goose Duck was just a fun way to make some silly voices and troll people more than anything. I feel like Goose Goose Duck people understood even less than Among Us. So it was just like, you could just say things and it would work out. But Rana was so funny in that. I remember so many times we just like follow around with each other. I remember one time I was like, okay, I'm going to protect Rana this time. She's had like a rough time. And then she stabbed me in the back and left me dead. Twisty! God, I miss Twisty so much. So is this... Oh no, this is Call of Duty. I forgot we played Call of Duty, the zombies mode. Oh my god. The short hair look with the beard. Let's fucking go, Yumi. But yeah, Twisty's very sweet, very supportive. Very nice to like people outside of NIJISANJIEN and like the greater community as well. Always fostered like good relationships with people. So yeah, I hope she's doing well. I'm sorry she couldn't be here for the graduation. But yeah, Call of Duty was so much fun. She always had so much energy. I loved her banter with certain people. Her banter with Van Van is one of the most funny things of all time. I will never forget those memories of just like her trolling Vanta and just seeing how far she could go. The Ojo-sama. The Zako. Oh, and you should Sable in Among Us. Yeah, Sable's a very sweet person. I haven't gotten to know them too well, but we've had some conversations, and every time we do, I'm just blown away. So incredibly sweet. And I hope I get to, yeah, see more of what they create in the future. Friorine! I love that we, like, made the safe word pineapple, because I was worried about Friorine, because Friorine is the person who I'm always, like... He came in and immediately like established his boundaries with his chat. And I knew his boundaries with his chat were very different from mine. Because I have very strong rules in my chat, but they're all about like making people just kind of like follow basic rules in the chat. So like things don't get uncomfortable for other people. His are much more like intense when it comes to like adult content and like lewd stuff, which is, you know, not something I've ever had a problem with. So yeah, I actually, when I saw a clip of him on stream, like it got posted to Twitter of everybody being like, okay, remember guys, Friorine has a bit of a different like priority compared to other people. So please follow these rules when you're in his chat. And I was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, this can go very bad. Like he may hate me if I don't get on top of this. So I like messaged him and was just like, let's make a safe word. If I ever say anything that actually makes you uncomfortable during a stream, just say pineapple and I will immediately like back it up. I will continue to be lewd in the future, but like I will immediately drop that line of conversation and we'll move on to something else. And yeah, he only actually used it in the final stream last night. He gave me that as a gift. It was just like, so yeah, the fact that he's fine like bantering with co-workers essentially is so sweet as well. He's fine with our unhinged energy as long as, you know, it's us and not like the chat feeling like he has to bounce off of chat, it seems like. But that was very sweet. I know he's going to have an amazing future. He's so amazing. The other boys from BTB actually said pineapple more than him, which is, I think, more of a joke for most of them. Like, it's been very nice with KK as well. But this is Zeal. And yeah, that's just me freaking out because, man, I did not know Zeal's game until we saw that EP release. So many of the songs are good, like the dance ones are great, but yeah, it was definitely Corroded Heart that blew my mind because the lyrics, as a writer, and I will call myself a writer nowadays, I have that confidence, even though I'm not the best writer, I am definitely a writing kind of person who aspires to be a writer, if nothing else. The lyrics, the way those are presented is so beautiful. You really feel every emotion that he's trying to put into Corroded Heart, and then the music, the voice that goes along with it, he put his emotion into his voice. It was so fucking powerful. And even the video, the way it like slowly rusts over time, starts to like break to pieces, and then when it finally does break, instead of like leaving like nothing or leaving like darkness, instead, boom, it explodes into the sky and opens up, and it's like, okay, you've had your heart broken, now you're ready to be set free. It's such a wonderful message and such a beautifully done song. One of my favorite songs that I've heard recently. And also that, as well as like Monstrosity, which I've been listening to Ren's. Yeah, I don't think I've said this on stream before. I almost said it yesterday, but a lot of other conversations were going on when we were talking about like different music and stuff. I almost said like, yeah, Monstrosity has been on repeat. Like that's my new thing, like since the Epic brain rot. Sometimes I still listen to Epic the Musical while in the shower, But my recent run has just been like blasting Monstrosity at full volume while I'm in the shower, because it's like such a nice mix of like pop, emo, rock. Like, I know Ren said like he's still like making dark songs right now, and the themes of that song are very dark, but that's what I like about it, is the fact that it's dark in a very like Nightmare Before Christmas kind of way, which is why I wanted to sing a Nightmare Before Christmas song with him. Because in my mind, he is Jack the Pumpkin King. He's someone who very clearly goes through a lot of stuff and is like wrapped up in his own mind a lot of the time, but goes out of his way to bring nothing but joy to other people. And you feel that in Monstrosity as well, where the lyrics are so messed up. It's all about like, oh, I am a monster. I've done like horrible things. I feel bad about the things I've done. Meanwhile, you listen to the sound of it and it's just like, it's like high intensity pop beat. It's like, yeah, let's go. Sorry, I pivoted into Ren during Zeo's thing, but Zeo, incredibly talented singer. Loved getting to hear his EP release and the fact that he invited all of us to react to it first live on stream. It was so nice. Oop. And KK, yeah, I mean, this is us like vibing and going nuts about Epic the Musical. That was such a nice moment. I'm glad he hosted that on his channel. Because technically me, Mumu, and Albin had been planning that watch along for a long time. It just took us a while to get permissions to do it as a group thing. Obviously, Mumu had already done one on her channel as a solo, which was very sweet. But yeah, she came in and like did all like the lore stuff. Albin Yan like helped us in the background, like setting up the different animatics and songs and everything. And yeah, just KK took to it like so intensely because he's such a fan of musicals. I remember like it was shortly before, like originally the stream was going to be on my channel, but then I don't know if I saw like clips or it was just like I happened to be watching one of his streams, or maybe it was even like during Zeal's EP release. I just remember like at some point KK was talking about like how into musicals they are, and I was like, oh, and you're joining the Epic the Musical watch along. And like, you know, you're brand new. This is like your new channel. So it would be nice for us all to jump into your channel and just be like, hey, let's share it on here. Let's not like look towards the past. Let's look towards the future. Welcome everybody and know that, yeah, you can always invite people to join you for things like that in the future. So I really liked that. I really liked that KK took that upon himself and like hosted the whole thing and like took care of us so well and like really just dove into it. It was so nice. Glad because I heard a good musical in a long while. Yeah, no, Epic is so good and I'm so glad he liked it so much. And yeah, just getting to hang out with him. We are very similar people. It was one thing when like he first showed up, and I'm not gonna lie, there have been a couple of times, depending on different people's art styles, there have been a couple of times I've been just like scrolling through Twitter and I've seen like white-haired anime boy with slightly longer hair on the left side, and I've been like, oh, that's a beautiful picture of Legarda. That's KK. So many times where I've been like, oh, Legatus looks really good. Oh, that's Calyx. My bad. So yeah, we already like visually looked very similar, but then finding out like he's into like so many of the same things I am, and especially like his obsession with Zelda. Probably the only person in the branch I can talk about like the full Zelda timeline with, and just like talk about like our favorite entries down to like the deepest cuts of things where it's like, oh, the Zora turning into the Rito, and like the different, like the fallen hero timeline and the triumphant one, the past and future, and the way they all connect at the end. Like, yeah, KK is amazing. I'm glad I got to meet him before my time ran out here. And just in general, he's such a ball of sunshine. Anytime you watch any of his streams, he's just full of energy, full of nice things to say about other people, and just bringing his best to show everyone how happy he is to be around here. Oh god, I didn't know the Noctix ones had been saved for last. I forgot we hadn't done these yet. Me and Alvinyan. And yeah, that has to be the one where we broke out of jail. What was the one where we broke out of jail? Code. I don't remember. Out. A Way Out. Thank you, chat. A Way Out. That one was so much fun. As you know, I'm not very good at doing like one-on-ones with people. That's right there. One of my favorite one-on-one streams I've ever done. Albin is somebody who matches my freak in a way that nobody else really can. Because he doesn't just like match my freak in the way that like the monster frickers do. Like me and Aya, me and Scala, me and Alira, we can talk about like monster fricker stuff. Albin Yan can match my freak in that kind of way, but then he can also, he matches my sense of humor in every kind of way. The dark bits of my sense of humor, the silly bits of my sense of humor, the times when we make fools out of ourselves, me being an old man, him being a little like adorable kitten. We banter with each other so well because we both have a very similar mindset to how we want to entertain our audiences and how we just have fun ourselves, like expressing ourselves. So yeah, getting to play our way out with him was one of my favorite memories. Like, we trolled each other, we had fun, and then obviously it had that final emotional confrontation. It was just like, oh, I wouldn't have wanted to go through that journey with anyone else. It was so fucking beautiful and so poignant. Ukiki. And yeah, Ukiki, obviously. What was this game called? We Were Here. We Were Here, which really, I think, exploded the Cyborg fans. Because before that, like, me and Ukiki were always like, yeah, no, we're very close friends and we like this ship. We both like ships in general, so it was nice to, like, have that going. And then We Were Here was just, like, such a perfect conclusion to that arc of just, like, oof. Me doing the self-sacrificial thing, being like, oh, Ukiki, go throw the lever. It's on the other side of the thing, and then I'll be able to come through. And stepping off the thing and trapping him outside, like, It was very poignant for, like, the whole journey we were going to go on for, like, the rest of our 3 years. And it is definitely one of those things where maybe a lot of it was a bit too personal and shouldn't have been shared on stream, but I'm glad we did, because I'm glad it's, like, helped so many other people see the beauty in that kind of feeling as well, as, like, exposing yourself and being strong enough to share parts with yourself that you may not always feel comfortable with. Ukiki's come a long way with that, and I know I've incredibly evolved with that over the years, and a lot of that is because of the time I spent with Ukiki and Noctix and Nijisanjien, and especially the Confidants. So yeah, We Were Here was always beautiful. The clips that came out of that, the animatics, everybody just crying their eyes out, and us too, obviously. I think that's the fun thing. A lot of people think that when it comes to ships, it's just like, oh, they just do this for the fans. I've never done anything just for the fans. It's the same as, like, all my fan service-y content where I'm like, I want Archivist naked. I want Legatus beaten and bruised. I want a video of the Queen stepping on everyone else. People will be like, oh, he's just giving fan service to the masses. He's just trying to, like, entice other people. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm enticing myself every fucking time. I am creating the things that I want to see in the world. And it is always the same thing with Cyborg and every other, like, ship that I've had, every other connection that I've had, every other, like, story that I've told is always, like, something that I want to share with people because it just makes me happy. And if it makes me happy and other people vibe with it and continue to follow the stories, that's freaking amazing. And if other people don't vibe with it and don't like it, it's like, oh, good. Just find a different content creator. I'm creating the things I actually want to create, and I love them. Oh, and Sonny with River City Girls. I tried to remember the name of this one really quickly, but that was such a fun stream as well. Again, I wish... This isn't a regret, but it is definitely something that I wish I had been slightly better at throughout my time here. I wish I had been better at, like, being confident about one-on-ones. Because again, Sonny is just another person that I can vibe with so well. There's never, like, a dull moment. There's never a quiet moment. We share, like, so many of the same memes. Our love of anime is a very similar direction where we always are able to, like, quote different anime scenes and different, like, memes from the past when it comes to anime. But yeah, anime, voice acting, dark material, just, like, I vibe with Sonny on a very good level as well. And the one-on-one with him with River City Girls was just like us playing what was basically a classic 80s arcade game, just revamped for the modern era and just being silly about it, beating the shit out of our enemies. So yeah, I wish I had been a bit more confident about doing the one-on-ones. I mean, I even tried to make a series out of it. I tried to do like a shared archive, which was going to be nothing but one-on-ones. I was trying to challenge myself, and that was just one of the challenges I was not able to rise to. So hopefully someday in the future, I'll actually be able to, like, you know, keep leveling up. But they still always scare me. I'm always scared of, like, oh no, if something bad happens. If, like, the atmosphere gets a bit ruined, suddenly there's, like, complete silence because there's only 2 people. Like, what do I do at that point? But yeah, I never had to worry about that with Sonny. Sonny is always so lovely and so supportive. And so fucking hilarious in so many ways. And finally, the Confidants. Yeah. I'll be reading you guys my letter at the end of this stream, but I'm sorry that I went so long on just this one piece of artwork, but that's what I love about this piece of artwork. But technically, yeah, I mean, it was several pieces of artwork, but what I loved about this project, even though it was just by a single confidant, yeah, you did such a good job of like sharing so many of my favorite memories with everybody in the branch. So thank you so much for sharing those, Yumi. It was so gorgeous and I'm glad I got to share them. Saku, I'm sorry.